Welcome back, everybody, to episode 1 of season 2 of Hot Rod Blues. I am your host, Sean Brereton, along with my 4 other hosts, because we just all have hosts. This guy to my left,
Mike Abbott, Steel Rose Metal Co.
Javier Augustine, Bomber Steel Customs.
And I'm Sean Young, Kingfisher Metalworks, and along with me is our old buddy,
Matt Marion, Memphis Ship Knobs.
There you go.
Hey,
Yes.
representing.
Yeah, that's right.
We almost stoned out of the gate, Shawnee boy.
I know,
good?
right? I know.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it is.
you forgot how to speak.
I'm out of practice. But no, we've been gone a while.
Yeah.
You know, so the title of the show is Blues. We've stumbled on some blues drama. That's why some of the reason we took a break.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll share. Do share, sir.
I mean, you guys know, but for those listening at home and the one around the world, we actually went out of production, kind of scheduled, but we had some of our equipment, Memphis.
Oh, yes.
We got Memphoed.
We did. So we had a little break-in and had some stuff stolen, and that's what happens in Memphis.
Yeah.
So if you have our
That's
video
not all that
switcher-
happens in Memphis, but occasionally you have to stop production on your high-valued show.
Yeah, exactly.
I might be over-exaggerating.
That guy in Finland has been wondering where the hell we were, man.
I forgot. All my accents are gone. We've been gone so long. Sorry, guy in Finland. I'll get it down. I'll watch. But no, I think Australia too. They're probably wondering.
Oh, dude, they're scattered all over the place.
Really?
Yeah, they're reeling,
the
man.
universe. There's probably some aliens in the future, that aren't
Especially in
gonna
Australia.
Yeah.
They lost their gun laws. They can't own firamms and
No hot rod blues.
Just horrible.
Just,
Wow.
They're all just sitting at 42 Wallaby Way, waiting on this waiting on this thing to happen.
I know. I miss them.
Crikey.
Wallaby Way.
Yeah, I'm a Finding Nemo's. I'm a Pixar
Nice.
man. Big surprise.
That's funny.
So
Well, it was funny that you brought up Finland, though. So I just did.
what?
Well, Finland. I just.
It's a weird segue.
Yeah.
Well, I just.
no, let's bring it back.
No,
bring it back.
Yeah, so I just did an article on Ida Zetterstrom, who is a top fuel dragster driver
Finnish.
in
Oh.
FIA Europe.
She's Finnish. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's his slogan?
So-
See you at the
She.
finish. Oh, she's a she.
Yeah.
Ida.
I'm sorry, Ida.
Yeah.
See
Blonde.
you at the finish line.
Yeah.
That was for you, Ida. Sorry.
That's really good.
Oh, she's a super. Yeah, 3. I think she was running a 3.7.
Wow.
Which is good over there.
I've had girls run from me
European-
faster than that.
Yeah. European tracks
Yeah.
aren't quite as prepared as.
You've never sounded more American.
Well, that's true. It's true. European tracks just aren't as prepared as like NHRA tracks are over here and stuff. So,
What do you think that is? What do they equate that? Because surely they have access to the same information. Like, why would they? What could they do better?
well-
I've never been.
From what I understand from what Ida said was that they don't glue them as far down as we do. So
Yeah.
they'll glue it to half track.
Okay.
So after that,
So things get weird after.
yeah.
half
So
track.
after that, they're skating around a lot. So like where we're running 330s, they're running. I think she ran. I want to say she ran at 367, possibly. I could be wrong, but she said like after half track, the car's moving around a lot on you, so they're not still pulling as hard as they are over here. So, but they have yes.
Those are
But that would have
Coca-Colas.
been way. I was gonna say that would have been way cooler if it was a beer, though.
It's not.
I'm sorry. I'm lame.
You don't
That's
know
right.
what it is.
It's okay. Sobriety's totally lame.
It is.
You keep.
Yeah, but Ida came from a super street bike, so she ran a turbo Hayabusa.
No big deal.
Yeah,
GSXR 1300.
running 6
With
second
twin screws, no problem.
6-second quarter miles on a bike with no
gnarly.
wheelie bar.
Really?
Yeah, no wheelie bars. So the
I
super
want
street.
you to, Sean, write this down because we need a picture of this girl. She's flashed up there.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I think
She's
this year we're
pretty.
going to work on getting call-in features. I don't know what time it is in Finland.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can call you.
It's
It's daytime.
It's about 3 in the morning, probably. Yeah.
She would totally
Somewhere
take a
around
call from me, I'm sure.
there. Yeah, right.
Reach out.
yeah.
Somebody reach out to her. We'll have her as an
I sent her the article to look it over the other night, and I figured, oh well, she'll be asleep, and she'll just look at it in the morning.
Yeah.
And she emailed me back, and she's like, hey, yeah, this looks great. I got a couple little changes. Can I get them to you in the morning? It's 2:00 in the morning over here. I'm like, I was like, I didn't even expect you to answer back. So yeah, in the morning's fine.
Well, she sounds awesome.
So, yeah, she's really cool. She's really just down to earth and very driven. Very driven.
Good phrasing.
Obviously, right? Yeah, right. But I mean, so her dad built her a junior dragster when she was 8 years old. And from that moment on, she was like, I want to be a top field driver. And
Wow.
And her goal is to get over here to NHRA and be a full-time NHRA racer. So
That's awesome, man.
I truly believe if somebody gives her a chance, she'll be there. Because she has the talent.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Clay.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Have they ever had a conversation?
Yeah, actually, so they met at PRI because that's where I met her because she's a partner with Edelbrock, and so of course Clay is as well. So they had a lot of time to talk, and Clay really did. I mean, he gave her some tips and stuff because Clay started out running the
Same way.
IHRA,
Yeah.
which IHRA at the time was quite a bit smaller. There were probably fields of 8 cars or something like that, and they didn't run as long of a schedule as NHRA.
Yeah.
So the European Championship is really short as well.
Gotcha.
There's like 6 or 7 events.
Wow.
So yeah. But I mean, the season's really short too because you're thinking, it's north, right?
Right.
A lot of the tracks they have Sweden. They have one in Sweden, Finland, Santa Pod Raceway in England. Which is where the team is based.
Yeah.
And then
Norway, maybe?
Yeah, there's one. I think there's one in Norway, and then there's Hockenheim, Germany. That they
Wow.
run. Yeah. So
It's amazing how many little things that we do over here kind of trickle over to Europe. And
Yeah.
you don't think like football,
Yeah.
Awesome. Super cool.
well, that was really the opening line of the article. Is people don't really think of Europe when they think of straight line racing,
Drag racing,
and
yeah.
and so it's kind of a niche over there. But the attendance at the events
Yeah.
are like 40,000.
Really?
And they have. She said that at Hockenheim they had 80,000.
That's all those style
Wow.
events.
So, yeah.
So like their
Yeah.
rockabilly culture there is giant.
Right.
All of the hot rod style events, car, sports, any of that. Like the European
Yeah.
people are in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
man.
Whatever they're
Yeah. So
into,
good.
they're all in.
Yeah, they are in
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
And then the Nordic countries, Norway, Finland, Sweden, and even Germany, like they have a huge car culture. American car
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
Like when I was over there, I was really surprised when my wife and I went to Norway and Sweden, like how many. And they were big American cars,
Cadillacs?
I mean, like, yeah, big Cadillacs and just huge honking cars that,
Wow.
and a lot of them are like 4-doors and stuff that over here aren't that big of
Yeah.
a deal, right? But over there, it's, hey, I got an American car.
Right.
So,
Good for them.
yeah, so it's really, really cool. I mean, the car culture is pretty neat over there. The one that surprised me the most was Switzerland. In Switzerland when we were there were tons of hot rods running around.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know Japan is
Yeah.
big into it.
yeah,
I
right.
follow a lot of people on Facebook
I do too.
that
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
it's the Japanese Custom Mercury Club,
Right.
and the sleds that they make are legit, man.
Yeah, because
I
that all
mean,
comes from Moon Eyes.
Yeah.
The Moon Eyes. The Moon Eyes show over there is huge.
Yeah, the Japanese people, man.
They've
they
been throwing it down since the 50s.
They
man.
do it, man, for sure.
Right after the war, they got all in on it.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
And the quality is
Because it's
Mwah.
freaking cool, man.
Well,
Yeah.
it is
You
cool.
know?
But I mean, their craftsmanship is very old world.
Yeah,
And
very different.
Just the lead work is amazing. Their tin work is amazing.
So let's back up. Let's talk about what we've had going on since we quit doing the podcast. So
Good Lord.
It's a lot.
We've had a lot. We had the Legend Show.
The Legends show.
We built Matt's car at
Yeah.
the Legend Show. I had a great time at the Legend Show, even though our turnout sucked.
Yeah, the weather was.
The weather was terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, it
I had a
wasn't that
blast.
bad. It
I think
was
it was
just
a
the
confluence,
forecast was horrible.
confluence of events, maybe.
Yeah,
There
you say
was-
that. You weren't there at 2:00 in the morning when it.
Well, that's what I'm
Some
saying.
of
I mean,
us- some-
well,
some of-
yeah,
some of us were.
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, there weren't
Yeah.
others that But I mean, like, but for the car show and stuff, it could have been
Yeah.
fine. But the forecast was so.
Yeah.
I admit, like me, I wouldn't have brought my 55, right? Like, I mean,
Sissy.
yeah. Well, with that kind of forecast,
brought
you're
my
like,
car.
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah.
He brought his car.
Yeah. There's a reason you brought
Yeah,
your
you
car.
know, basically at the righteous
Yeah.
Mid-South thunderstorm, but we were back at it the next morning.
Yeah.
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 What a
Welding,
blast.
cutting, and building.
The sun
Man,
was sun
I
was
had a
out.
blast. I had a blast.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It's. I look at that. We talk about it amongst ourselves every year because we put so much investment in that thing, and it's like, what if nobody shows up? And man, I still feel the exact same way. Like, if who we invited shows up, and we just hang out in the parking lot and do cool ass hot
There's a
rod
car, there's a
shit,
car
Yeah.
built after
Then,
that.
like,
Yeah.
Success.
Yeah.
it's a win.
Yeah.
Screw it.
It
you
is.
know?
I-
And that's
I
really the way
agree.
I feel.
I agree, and it's hard to get to that, and when we were talking about it while we were there, the attendance, and you're kind of bummed out. Let me get a little closer to the mic.
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to get over, but when you really think about it, and what you learn coming out of those things,
Right.
It's just it's invaluable.
Yeah.
Absolutely invaluable.
Well, I mean, we barely scraped through.
Yeah.
Financially.
I'm not an organizer, so I can't speak anything.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
My wallet is not fatter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, as someone who participates strictly on the annual basis by invite, I mean, it's the same as it always was from day one, which was me hanging out with some of my best friends doing hot rod stuff, which is all
Yeah.
It's a good weekend.
at the core what
Good
it's
weekend.
about. Now,
Yeah.
what do we really hope? Of course, from the monetary standpoint, again, I can't speak on that, but that you generate some interest so that next year, and you want to grow it every year.
Sure.
Not
Right.
just from money. I'm talking about just from, I want more people to experience this.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
weather played a factor. I think Memphis, if I'm not making any suggestions, I think Memphis does this thing, and it was just one of those last weekends of a holiday.
Yeah.
And Memphis, as a culture, does this thing where they try and take the lake or the beach trip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a rough weekend plus the weather, I think. But,
Yeah,
back to the
and
drawing board.
In
So-
Memphis's defense, everybody I talked to about us doing that on that weekend told me that it was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to listen. They were like, "No, dude.
Well,
everybody
yeah,
goes out of town. You don't want to do that. Like, we're doing it."
Yeah. Well, live and learn, and at the end of the day,
I had a blast.
Matt's got
Yeah.
Matt's got a coupe on rails right now.
Right.
32
Yeah.
And not
rails.
to
So-
mention that, let's talk about the fact that it was at a drive-in movie theater.
And we watched movies.
We played vintage movies,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody who was involved's logo was on the drive-in movie.
Right.
That was. I
was
wish
cool.
I had got a picture of that.
Not
I
everybody.
didn't.
I got a few.
Not everybody was up there.
You weren't up there.
Oh,
I was the
didn't-
biggest supporter and was
You
not
were
up
out
there.
there?
He didn't make it.
Oh,
Memphis
man.
Shift
Not
Knobs was.
Oops.
I'm sorry,
But,
man.
But
whatever.
on the
I don't know.
bright
I
side,
feel like your car was
You-
on display the entire weekend.
you were the only one that came out ahead that weekend. I can
Yeah,
tell you
you
that.
You did well.
Not monetarily though.
I don't know.
Spiritually, emotionally, vehicularly.
I was hemorrhaging money.
Hey, man, if it was cheap, everyone would do it.
That's right. That's right.
So
and
no-
it wouldn't be cool.
But to your point, Mike, my buddy Keith, who owns Toby Cinemas in Senatobia, Mississippi, had his logo on the screen at the Malco Drive-In.
I'm sure that.
companies.
That's right.
Theater.
I'm sure that won't affect
Epic.
our invite back. At all.
It's like UPS, sponsored by
Yeah,
Federal
we're-
Express.
We're already in discussions, but of course, I'm dealing with a whole new loop of
People.
corporate people.
Yeah.
We'll
I'll
see
tell you what,
how it
man,
goes. Which really, to be honest with you, a lot of people since then, that are in show world, are like, man, you might want to rethink the whole drive-in thing.
Yeah,
I love the drive-in. though.
that sounds
God.
strange. I thought the venue was killer, man.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
we
and
watched
I
Death.
wanna-
Like we watched
I wa-
Death Proof at
Right
night
on
at
the big
drive-in.
screen.
Right.
They could have showed Bullet. Next year maybe. I don't
Man,
know.
I
Like,
really wish they could have got that Elvis flick with the 32.
Oh, the
that's
iconic
true.
32. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Somebody tell me.
Maybe we just do an event where we just
have a pop-up screen.
no, we just rent the drive-in.
Yeah, they'll rent it to us.
I'm in.
I mean,
we'll
you
just
know,
do a
not
weekend
for the
cruise.
car
Do you know
show,
how
but
much
do
they?
a
You know how?
weekend
Well, you
cruise.
know how much they told you guys know. It's like $150. to play a movie?
No.
I lied.
No.
I'm sorry, I lied, Malcolm.
No.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
a hard
it's-
correct coming.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
That
it's
sounds
not
like somebody who lost money.
no.
No.
It's not $150.
Maybe that was a regular movie.
Yeah. No. So the $150 is what you have to pay for whatever movie you decide. That's a separate charge from actually getting the theater. That's a whole nother charge.
Yeah.
You know what? What I heard was that I
that's the
wasn't
tax-
wrong. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't say anything about having the venue.
Yes,
I said
yes.
it was going to be a $150 royalty fee.
Yeah.
I win a gang.
And that also depends on the movie.
Yeah, it depends on the movie. That's the bottom price.
Potato.
It goes up.
The listeners at home don't care.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
All right. What else? Oh,
So after the Legend show,
What happened after the Legend show?
we had the Rotors reunion.
Had the
man.
Rotors
Oh, my
reunion.
gosh.
Come on
We've been
now.
gone a long
Come
time.
on now. That was
I
a
know.
pretty big deal.
That-
Actually, there was
huge.
probably a lot
no, there's
in
a lot.
between
There's
there
a
as
lot
well.
of stuff that happened.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
stuff. That
There was a whole
happened.
bunch in between there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Rotors reunion, if you guys don't know, is an event that happens every year, the Thursday before Thanksgiving, and it's always a charity dinner, and there are hundreds of people that come to this. It is the hot rodding event of the year in Memphis. So if you guys ever wanted to come to town to Memphis to see something and experience something truly unique in the car culture, the Rotors reunion is the deal.
For sure.
And
There's big names
And
there.
the
Yeah.
venue this year was awesome.
Oh, it was good, but and to Matt's point, you never know who's going to be there, man. I mean, we sat next to Mr. Four Speed and talked to him.
Larry Reyes.
Larry
was there.
Reyes was there.
Sammy Swindell was there.
Actually, that's a very
Clay Milliken?
good point to talk
Clay
about
Milliken
Yeah.
was there.
the dedication.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know.
George Poteet was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Eddie's.
Eddie.
I don't think
Yeah.
Yeah.
the listeners, if you're from Finland or Australia, we had a guest
Yeah.
last season who
Yes.
passed away.
Yeah.
Mike,
And,
tell us about Eddie.
Yeah.
Man, where do you start with Eddie Wilbanks? Eddie Wilbanks was he was a big deal. He never really had real employment. He was just that guy. He was super talented, machinist, fabricator, engineer minded, was unreal, and he was the guy. His passing definitely left a hole in car culture in this area.
I think in the world, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he affected industry across the board.
Yeah, because he built a lot of stuff for a lot of people
Yeah.
out of his home base shop. I mean, he was self-employed, and he was the genuine article. He spent his whole life pursuing
Yeah.
what we love.
Episode 8.
Yeah.
I believe is the original Rotors episode.
It was he and Marshall sat
Marshall.
right where we're sitting right now in
Yeah.
that interview. So.
Yeah, and unfortunately we lost him. But yeah, his the tribute to him was definitely a big deal to me. Eddie was a big deal to me. Me and him were just kind of cut from the same cloth, you know. But it's funny when we went to his memorial, he was just that type of guy. Everybody that stood up and talked about Eddie talked about how them and Eddie just clicked. And it was almost like a surreal moment for all of us because all of us thought we were special.
Right.
Found out you're not.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like,
Yeah.
wait, you had the same experience with Eddie? It's like 150 people standing up going, yeah, my experience with Eddie.
We all
just
walked in
clicked."
thinking we were special.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead
But,
of walking
I mean,
out like brothers, we were all
that-
jealous of each other.
Yeah, that just kind of speaks to Eddie's character. Though.
yeah.
He had that thing about him that he would just he was so humble and down to earth that when you met him and you talked to him, you felt like you had something.
Well, everyone had a special Eddie
it was
moment.
special,
Yeah.
which was epic.
Of course, Larry Nolan had the most special moments with him. He's best friend, and,
Yeah.
and Larry puts on the reunion every year, and that was Larry's thing was he wanted to honor his best buddy, and
Yeah.
I think he did a fantastic job of
Yeah.
The video is
getting
great.
everything together. Yeah, Lewis Kimmery,
The video is great.
Lewis Kimmery, we gotta give you a big shout out because you did an awesome job, and Lewis's health was
Yeah.
not the world's greatest at that time, but he
Yeah.
fought through it and got that got that thing done.
So that video is on our Facebook page right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
So if you want to
Yeah.
watch the video,
Definitely
you
check
know,
it out.
And the whole event, to me, really spoke to what friendship's all about.
Right.
You know, and I don't mean it to sound corny, but I mean, we would all be lucky to have a friend like Larry.
Yeah.
You know. Thank you, Matt.
I love you, buddy.
I love
No,
you too,
you're,
man.
you're right though. I mean, and and outside of that, just the friendships that go on in that room, like even if you don't know some people, like to see the interactions of people
Yeah.
that see each other that one time a
Once
year
a
there,
year,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's so cool to see everybody
Right.
just chatting and hanging out and stuff.
So
It's really
Herb McCandless, Mr. Four Speed.
Right.
I think he lives, what, in South Carolina now?
North Carolina.
No, yeah, he's in Mooresville, I think, isn't he?
I think it's in North Carolina.
In North
North
Carolina, like
Carolina?
Mooresville area.
He doesn't miss the reunion. He is
No,
here
he
every
travels
year.
here every year.
Yeah.
Missed it once, got in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
so he told
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah.
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 But
Pretty
yeah.
epic. It's
But-
pretty epic. And speaking on the friendship thing, like, what goes into putting that thing on,
Yeah.
This year was a skin of our teeth, like say Lewis Kimmery was ill, he wasn't doing good. He got out of his rehabilitation thing and I mean put that video together. I mean, he had been working on it for months before he got sick, but then he got sick and it looked like we weren't going to have it.
Yeah.
It looked like we weren't going to have the video or we were going to have some sort of derivative that we would have had to make shift together.
Right.
And him coming out of the rehab and like 2 days before
Yeah.
and just jumping on, he could barely even walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry had put a handrail at his house and he still knocked that video out 2 days before. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
come on, that's pretty epic,
He's awesome.
Down to the rest of it,
Yeah,
It was-
the
everything was
trophy-
last minute.
The
Yeah.
trophy, having to put the trophy together and our normal way to get the trophy done wasn't done. Oh, well, Clay
bringing the pistons.
So the trophy consists of pistons it's the Clay Milliken Hot Rodder of the Year award, and they consist of the rods off of Clay's top fuel car.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Clay and was like, "Hey, man, do you think we could get some rods off of your car again?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I'm in Pomona." So I'm like, "All right." He's like, "I can bring them in my suitcase,
Yeah. He did.
back." And I'm like, "Well, when are you going to be back?" And it was like the Monday before
It was
the
Tuesday.
event. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah,
The event was
That's
on
right.
Thursday.
Well, it gets
Right.
even better for him.
So,
He didn't have a working vehicle. I don't know if you realize that he drove his RV to the reunion. Did you
Oh
guys
yeah,
know
that's
that?
right. Yeah. He had planned it. Yeah, so he was bringing Project Dentley, which
Yeah.
is the car that he unveiled or the truck pickup that he unveiled at SEMA that Jeff Lutz built, and it's a twin turbo LS, crazy drag and drive kind of vehicle.
Yeah.
And that used to be his son's, and so he wanted to bring Dentley, and he was going to bring it on regular trailer and stuff with his dually, and the dually transmission or whatever went out on the dually, so he ended up throwing it in his stacker trailer with the RV and brought the RV and the stacker trailer down there. So
That's a buddy right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
He was going to adapt. It
cool.
was coming.
And he went through like 4 power steering hoses on the thing, like 2 of them that day, just trying to get the car right for get the power steering right, because it was leaking like crazy.
Yeah, I think he had it only cranked up in Vegas.
Yeah,
like
right.
A week
yeah,
before.
it was SEMA ready.
Yeah.
which SEMA
It
ready
ro-
means like it
rolled off the trailer
loose
and it
rolls.
parked.
Right, exactly.
It got back onto the trailer. and went
Exactly.
home.
So he's been working on it. Actually, I saw that he posted on Facebook that he took it for a little spin up there around Drummond's.
I saw that.
Well, I saw the
so
2
they-
stripes
yeah.
he has in his driveway. So
Yeah,
it did
he's got a few. Actually, I think that was Baby D, whereas his wife did burnouts in the driveway and Baby D.
His wife's got it bad too.
Yeah, definitely. So
He blew up the intercooler in it.
Yeah, you know about that, don't you?
yeah. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. But no, I mean, so Clay brought the pistons back, the rods and pistons back, and then I drove up to his house in Drummond's, got them, took them. Where did I bring them to?
You brought them to me.
I brought them down here, and then he took them to
Greg Boren.
Greg Boren's.
Yeah.
Greg Boren had to
Overnight.
machine out the piece
Overnight.
Yeah, overnight. Yeah. So it was just crazy to be able to put it all together, and Tiffany did the lettering, right?
Yeah. Well, and oddly enough, I cut out the trophy.
Yeah.
And I was going to paint it a gloss black, and I had a paint faux pas, and it crackled. And thank God it looked good crackled, because that's how he ended up with it, Yeah, the
I
finish,
totally meant to do that.
Yeah, I totally did. I was
You like that
oh,
crackle
my God.
finish?
Yeah, it
You
did.
got to pay extra for that.
Yeah, normally I hit folks kind of heavy with this, but
Yeah.
it kind of went to crap on me.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But
so
blast.
it was.
Yeah.
It was a lot of
blast.
fun. It was a great time. We had I don't know, probably 30 cars there, maybe. I think. Obviously, it wasn't the same as last year, which was at Art and Speed, where we had indoor cruise in.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think I may have scared some people off in the beginning because we were just going to have the indoor parking was going to be limited. So people weren't sure whether they bring their car or not bring their car or whatever. But we have a nice area outside at the Agri Center that. And hopefully, I assume that we will be able to do it at the Agri Center again next year. And there's a really, really cool spot outdoor where we'll be able to fit a lot of cars. So
Well, honestly, I think we might
already,
be able to.
We already have the date for next year. Yeah.
There's
Yeah, it'll be
definitely
there
room
next
to
year.
expound upon what's already
yeah.
there. The formula's
True.
there.
True.
The indoor footprint.
Yeah.
As long as there's not another event, you could grab another hall or even that center hall.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Place-
That's all logistics again. That's
The
not my
place is
business.
big, yeah, and how much is Agri Center willing to let us do for less money?
We swept and we cleaned up
Government.
after ourselves.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully,
We didn't burn your building down. Please let us back.
Right, please.
Yeah.
So, shoot, what happened after that?
Oh, I think you know.
What in the hell does that mean?
Oh, I think you know what happened. That's not my place. Or is it my place?
So we got accepted into the Rotors.
We did.
did.
We did.
What? That
I didn't
is
know
that?
that.
Yeah.
I thought we just all went home safely. You got accepted into the Rotors?
Yeah. So
That's amazing.
Small group of us to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
The
crazy.
first one's in
Since the 70s.
probably 40 years.
The
Yeah.
70s?
50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Memphis Rotors, you should look up some history on them. I think there's some stuff on the ham. They've been around since '47. They were a car club that turned into predominantly a drag race club. And it was a very, like in the Memphis area, it was a very by invite only, and you had to be somebody. Now, why they let us in, because we're not anybody, I don't know.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they took a liking to us, and
It's still
accepted us in.
pretty limited.
Yeah, it's
I
still.
mean, they didn't let everybody in.
No, they didn't let everybody in, and it'll still be the same way, by invite only.
Yeah.
But
And you have to be voted on.
yeah.
So-
Yeah, we don't have all the details worked out,
Right.
But we do have the jackets ordered. I don't want to hear one single thing about these damn jackets. Look, hold on. I'm going to send this episode to Johnny Suede. Go ahead and
There
say
you
what you
go.
got to say.
I'm just saying. All I know is you said, "Hey, man,
Johnny,
if we get the
listen
money-
to this shit
If we
I've
get
been
the
dealing
money,
with.
if we get the money now, we'll have them in 2 weeks."
This was
Sweet.
right before Christmas.
All I'm saying is that's what I was told.
How
by
many days after that
someone.
did it take you to...
You're gonna stand there
I
in
gave-
a
How many days
Dickie
after that?
zip up
I gave
and,
you the
and
money.
be complaining about Johnny Suede quality?
Well,
Come
that's why I'm wanting it.
Johnny, I don't know you, man. I've heard good things.
right.
No, it's. I mean, he does amazing
Look,
work from what I've seen. So
No, I've heard. No, I've
The
heard.
coat
Just
that you're
can't wait to
sewing,
have it
Johnny.
on.
The coat that you're sewing that's extra medium, like a little boy's size. Make sure you sew a penis in it because it's his.
That's probably what's taking the extra time. He
Yeah,
probably
yeah, his
called
hand
back
stitching
and
a
was
penis like,
hey,
oh, this guy right here.
oh,
Do me a
God.
favor. Don't have the Virgin Mary also in that.
Yeah, right.
That part's a
Yeah.
surprise.
If I ever get a coat, I don't mind the
Yeah.
Virgin Mary. Please leave the penis off.
Yeah.
God.
Well,
We're
the
going
Virgin
to
Mary
hell.
Guadalupe and the inside of the jacket. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It'll be awesome
I'm looking forward to mine.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
when they come in.
You know, what do you want for a handmade? You're used to going to like box stores and buying fucking generic bullshit.
Listen to you.
Dickies, and then going to a stitch guy in
Fabricator
town.
guy.
Yeah,
Fabricator guy over here.
right.
Fabricating stories.
Right.
Anyway, let's go car for car.
Ooh.
Car for car.
Car for car.
Shawnee
I
boy,
have
what do you got?
Barely touched the Mercury in 6 months. I have drugged my Roadster out of the corner.
I saw it. It was at almost a 45-degree angle from where it was last time.
Yeah, and the front end's off the ground, getting ready to take the front end apart and replace the radius rods and get all that welded in.
Wood floors.
Wood floors. Yeah, we're going to do old school wood floors in the Roadster.
Very affordable.
That,
Like
very
your style.
affordable. Yes.
Very affordable.
They like
Yeah.
like plywood or 2x4.
Does it matter, rich guy?
Yeah, well, that's
He
what
did-
they were.
He
They were
didn't,
plywood
he
back
didn't
in
know
the day.
that they were even wood.
No, I knew they were wood.
Yeah.
I
This
just
was
didn't.
back when
I
they
was
had
just
rotary
wondering-
phones.
Yeah, you know. Well, they actually made them out of pallets, didn't they?
3/4 inch marine grade.
Yeah, probably so.
Huh?
Yeah,
No, what did
know
the
the story.
pallets that?
No.
Wasn't that-
No.
They were the
The pallets
pallets.
were he had the pallet. Henry Ford would get the pallet manufacturer, the people that were shipping the stuff to make them to these certain dimensions, which was a little bit bigger. The side pieces I think wound up floor, but it was like plywood, and then the beams to it. He had those a certain dimension so that he could turn those into wood spokes. That's the story I read.
Yeah.
You know how true it is, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I like to believe it was.
I was
true.
gonna say, man. I mean, the dude was
Yeah.
pretty efficient.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you know, I mean,
Right.
he's built on efficiency.
Yeah.
Everything's black.
There you go.
'Cause
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Well, I guess probably the next step is I've got to get a brake pedal mounted, got to get the subfloor built, get the body mount, set up, and then it's time to blow it apart and, paint everything and sand everything. And the frame, I've got to final weld the frame. There's a lot of pieces to that are, kind of
Loose.
just tacked in. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Would never, stand the road. But yeah.
One Memphis pothole, that thing's blowing apart.
Exactly. But, and all of this is Abbott's fault. Every bit of it. I was happy to,
I'll take the blame. I don't
Yeah. Yeah, Mike.
We'll get to you in a minute, sir.
Yeah.
You stand here.
Okay.
You wait
That's
your turn.
So Mike
Stay in your lane.
started, Mike started shop nights again, and this year's project is this T coupe or T Roadster, and it got me excited because I have a Roadster. So here we are.
And
I'm
if
in the middle
anybody
of
wants
it.
to buy a T coupe,
Yes,
have one
that's
for
right.
sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll get to you in a second, sir. You wait
I just seen it.
No,
I could sell something.
this is a
Slide that in there.
This guy's unbelievable.
He's a hustler. He's a hustler.
Matt's always
So, all
trying
right,
to sell
let's
something.
go straight to Matt. Aside from betraying your friends on pics, what have you been up to?
What are you talking about?
He didn't betray me. That's all I'm saying.
Friends, I said friends.
Right.
No,
You're a partner. It's a different thing.
yeah, the first going down there.
Well, you got your car. Okay.
Oh,
let's
yeah,
start
on the
at
car,
that.
yeah.
No big deal.
I
It's just
have-
a model on some deuce rails that your friends built for you.
30 Model A on Deuce Rails.
There it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
No bigs.
It's all right.
No big-
Everybody does it.
Well documented. Well documented. Who needs a title when you have the video where you
Yeah.
built it?
Yeah, I do need a title.
I got you.
If anyone's into dirty titles.
Yeah.
So the one thing about his coupe that kind of struck me as being really cool when we did the show was the quality of welding on that car.
Man, Gillis.
Gillis.
Oh, yeah.
Bad
G2.
man.
G2.
Yes.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
And
Yeah, on
it's-
YouTube.
G2 what was it? G2 fabric.
I think so.
Gosh,
Yeah.
Somebody look
I'll
it up
figure
real
out.
quick.
Yeah, G2.
Yeah, so we can get the
G2
name right.
Fabricators,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
The
G2
Stepan and Gillis and
Tim.
Mike and Tim.
Tim.
Tim
Man,
the
they
Beast.
killed it, dude.
Yeah.
The quality of welding on that all over it when you look at it, it looks,
Yeah.
G2 Custom Fab and Performance.
Yeah.
cool.
There you go.
You
Yeah.
would never know that it was built in a parking lot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was built in the parking lot of a drive-in.
And I'd like to point out this. not just the welding fabrication, like the guys that were on the assembly side, mechanical side, Greg.
Yeah.
You know, we invited Vernon Walker, and he wasn't going to show up, but then he decided last minute, all right, I'm going to go ahead and go there and hang out with these guys.
He spent the whole day.
Yeah, he spent all day there. Was only expecting to be there for an hour. I looked over at one point, and he's over there helping build the car.
Yeah.
And he was just coming to the show.
But you know that, but that
Like-
that speaks to the mystique of what we're doing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
all it takes, like you can debate if am I going to go to this thing or not. If you're a car guy or girl
Right.
and you show up
Yeah.
and you see things like that happening, you
Yeah.
automatically you're like, oh, this is like my garage. Oh yeah, and then you
Yeah.
see what we're doing and you're like, oh, I need a wrench. I need a
Yeah.
welder. I need something. I want to do something. Give
And
me some.
Hutch,
Give me-
and
Hutch.
Hutch,
Hutch
came out,
jumping
We've got
in.
pictures of Hutch on his side.
laying down underneath the when they were
Redoing
having
my
they were having-
transmission.
Redoing your
transmission.
transmission.
they were
We
having
rebuilt
all
your
sorts of problems
transmission.
with the torque converter and stuff or whatever, and Hutch is down there
Yeah.
laying down there.
Yeah, you had
helping
to
out
pull
and stuff.
the shifter out of
So-
it, and Hutch was like, "Yeah, I got you." Next
And that's
thing you know, he's working
but
on
that's
it.
also where it comes in great when you have people like that, because there's certain things about some of these parts that you wouldn't know unless you already built it.
Right.
And you're like, when you're snapping in a torque converter, if you don't know to wait for the second click, like you're going to blow that thing
Right.
immediately.
Right.
Yeah,
And we
Hutch-
definitely had hurdles.
Yeah, Hutch bailed me out. So Hutch, if you're watching, thank you, sir, because I was going to put the shifter linkage together and that weird gear thing that goes on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he heard me in a conversation with somebody talking about taking the throttle body out. And he knew what I was getting ready to do because he had done it probably 50
Valve
times
body?
before.
The valve body?
The valve body, yeah. I was getting ready to take the valve body out so I could slide this little piece in there. And he came over. You don't have to do that. I'll do it for you. and man, we
Epic.
it looked like we killed a hog in the parking lot.
Oh, that thing bled everywhere. I was
It
like,
was
man, I hope the
horrible.
Malco people don't show up. Somebody
Yeah.
go to get cat litter.
I know.
Go get cat litter.
But it was like it never happened. When we walked
Oh,
out
we
of
cleaned
that night,
everything up.
It looked great.
No, Hutch, same thing. Coming
Yeah.
in MVP, he goes, we're going to, before we even got started mating that transmission up, we had 2 transmissions. I think I went back
Yeah, we had
with
a
my
spare.
truck and got
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Came back in the middle of the build here
Yeah.
and got more parts and went back.
That happened multiple times.
I know,
through the
I know,
weekend.
I know.
Multiple
it was
times
one
to
of
the
the-
Yeah, I got the
AutoZone,
bills.
AutoZone, yeah.
I got the bills
Give a
to
shout out
prove
to
it.
everybody.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we get, what was it? No, he looks at it. He goes, you're going to have to mill that flywheel. And we milled the flywheel on the fly. Literally.
I see what you
The
did there.
dad joke, huh? Anyway.
But yeah, back to Gillis. Look, none of us had ever met Gillis.
No.
I had never met Gillis, not one time.
Right.
We just kept up with each other on the internet. And when we started laying everything out, who was going to be on build teams and blah, 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 I'm like, man, I'm just going to be like, hey, man, you want to come out and help out with this build? Come on out. Came out, brought his film
His-
guy.
And,
Yeah.
Yodi?
Yeah.
Yeah, wound up
Epic.
doing some work after that, too.
Epic.
Good dude.
Epic. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's from Selmer.
Let me tell you something
I
about
don't know,
Gillis.
man.
Selma,
He's
Tennessee?
unassuming. He looks like
yeah.
he drives a John Deere,
Right.
probably does.
Right? Yep.
But he also can TIG weld like a mother effer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Talent.
Yeah.
For sure. Because he did a lot of the.
And your car
You know,
will
I'm gonna
always
be honest
that
with you.
car.
You
That's
know, like
pretty
I don't
epic.
know.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say it on the thing now. We should probably get him on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should pull him in because
No
he's got a
doubt.
cool story. I heard some of it. Like
and
he
he's
wasn't
got a
always
good
in
old
pro-
country accent
yeah,
too,
and
man.
he wasn't always in production what he's doing now. Like he kind of
Yeah.
fell into that from what something
Yeah.
else. So
Yeah.
I'll
he-
put I'll put Gillis on the spreadsheet.
Heck
How's
yeah.
that?
Oh.
He's going
Yeah.
on the spreadsheet. But now,
You hear that?
between me and you, we'll remember
yeah,
that.
Right.
You hear that, Excel?
That's it. That's
So,
it.
what else you got going car wise, Matt?
Car wise. Oh, I am picking up a 27 tall T this weekend. Skipping shop night to do hot rod things still though.
Skipping the hot night.
Yeah.
Hot
night.
Hot night.
Shop night.
Easy there, fella. What are you talking about? We'll get to you in a minute. Wait your turn, sir.
What kind of weird stuff are you into?
See, you said it so seductive. Too.
Hot night.
Skipping hot night.
Skipping hot night.
My bad. Shop
We-
night.
Yeah. So yeah. So you are
Yeah.
skipping that.
Tall T. Where are you
yeah.
getting it? Where's that?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
So I
Where
have
the
to
wind
drive to
goes.
Oklahoma.
I
I'm
know
probably gonna
that's
get
up.
up at like 2 a.m. Drive to Oklahoma.
Nah, nobody.
Power down there.
Nobody's shedding tears. for
Grab
you,
a
man.
27 tall T. Then shoot down 3 hours south to Texas. Grab another 27.
Immediately
tall T.
feel better about your life
So you're getting 2 tall T's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have to buy 2 to make one whole one.
as these
Yeah.
things usually
Yeah.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
So the one in Oklahoma doesn't have doors. It's hard to sell
Kinda
something
like-
with no doors.
It's kind of like buying
But once again, if you need
car
a
for the
27 tall
trunk.
T, holler at your boy.
Matt Marion.
Yes.
Yeah.
601. Blah, blah.
Matt's also got. You know, I'm going to
We
go
can
ahead
put a
and
flathead in it. We can put
I'm going to
a-
go ahead and pitch everything else. Matt has a list. I think you're going to put on there of things for sale.
For sale, yeah. For sale.
We'll flash that up. He's got some pretty rare and antiquitous parts curated
Yeah.
by Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At very discounted prices that he's upcharging ridiculously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You
fair.
must tell everybody.
No, I didn't say the prices are what they were. Just know that you're paying too much.
I just bought an Autolite cabinet from him.
You paid too much.
Oh, he stuck you, I'm sure.
You paid too much. You paid
Sure
too
he
much.
did.
Why are you getting red over there,
I figured it as I figured it as a donation to his family. You know.
There you go.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need your charity.
No, he's a hustler.
Yeah. People think I need their money, and I'll get your money.
I like your money.
I'll get your money.
I like your money. I like money. I like your money. I'd like your money to be my money. So
Yeah.
no, Matt's got some cool pieces.
He does.
I don't know the whole list, but there's a really cool engine stand that's
Yeah.
super rare.
Yes.
I can't afford it, but somebody could. Maybe one of y'all.
It's a 1930s K.R. Wilson engine stand.
There's the shameless plug, and then we've got. What else you got? You got something else cool?
I don't know. So
Oh, you got the.
lot of stuff here lately.
No, I know what it is.
What is it?
You recently acquired an intake.
Yes, he has.
Let's
Yes.
talk about Moon Eyes.
I tried to pay for it today, and Tim didn't answer my phone call.
I think
so-
he might have backed out of the deal.
No, I hope not, because he called. He sent me a message the other day, and it was an ad for one.
What is one? Tell me what it is.
So,
that they
He's
all-
excited for you, man.
Boy, I am. I'm excited too. It's a Moon Eyes Cross Ram Quad Weber intake,
Everyone who's
For-
listening,
For
look that up.
what type of motor?
small block Chevy. Yeah.
So everyone who's listening,
I wish
look
it was
that up
for,
right now.
small
and see
block
what
Ford.
that
By the
is.
way, not motor, engine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just intake.
Oh, no, I'm going motor.
Right.
It's motor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But a motor is a coil, and it runs a charge. Anyway, you were saying about the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm picking that
Intake.
intake and carb setup for my 66 Suburban.
Well, that's cool.
And I picked up a Vertex Magneto for it. Yeah.
That somebody else needs
Yeah.
in this room.
I'll get him another one.
No, you won't, man. Yeah, it will be.
He's already been working on it. He's been
Oh,
on.
no kidding.
He's
Yeah,
been on
this
a
ain't no-
Magneto.
When he grabbed your hand earlier and he
Run.
said he
Yeah.
loved you, he meant that.
Oh.
Yeah, I promise you, before it's over, my small block Ford coupe will have a Vertex Magneto. And I figured out a flathead.
Okay.
I don't know how to do a Magneto with the small block Chevy.
Okay,
Magneto.
cool.
So, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
Everything Magneto.
The Matt sales hour is over.
I'm not trying to sell none of that.
Oh no! I'm talking about the other stuff.
Let's get that
straight.
Yeah. Just to be clear.
All right.
That
not
Quad
for sale.
Weber intake system, though, if you got enough money, you can come and talk to me, though.
I got a guy to talk to you
Nice.
about Webers and quads and cool stuff. Hopefully we get them. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
at the end of the show when we introduce that guy.
Mike. tell
No,
us-
what, were we skipping over?
Oh,
We're gonna skip over
yeah.
again?
Oh, I'm sorry. My
That's
bad.
because he knows that Sean ain't got anything going on car wise.
As you know,
What's
I've
your
got
daddy buy you?
I've got everything going on life wise though.
No,
since,
come on, we
since
ain't-
the
He's
last,
gonna
We're
talk
gonna
about
talk
his
about your,
home remodel.
I want to
I
talk
was
about your
gonna say,
homestead and your.
since the last one, I have moved homes,
Oh,
Hold on.
completely remodeled the damn thing.
Yeah.
Cut down trees.
What did we go to Illinois for?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Well, once I got the home that has a 30 by 40 shop on it,
We took
This
we took
really-
a road trip to childhood.
yeah, we went to Metropolis, Illinois to pick up a
Home of Superman.
home of Superman. We picked up a
the
slot car
yeah,
track.
there it is. I was like, come on, man. I want to say
A
it for you.
124 scale slot car track. It's a home built routed wood routed track
It's huge.
it's 25 feet by 11 and a half feet or something like that. So I've always wanted a slot car track since I was little and, boy. And it popped up on Marketplace and it sat there for a little while and I was like, I gotta get this. So
There you
went
go.
and got it. Yep, so went and got it. But of course, like an idiot, I got it before I expanded the shop. So it's taken up like half of the space in the shop.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those deals
So,
where, you know,
yeah.
strike with iron's hot,
Yeah.
couldn't afford not to buy it, blah,
yeah,
blah.
you got to get it. So, so I got it. But I didn't necessarily have to put it together, right? I could have put it over in one of the sheds or whatever, but I had to put it together. So,
Did you hear that? One of
yeah.
the sheds.
Yeah.
Privilege.
well,
Rich
yeah,
people.
no,
First world
yeah,
problem.
Rich
right,
people.
right,
I don't even have a shed.
right. That's funny.
I shed
But,
my skin. I
yep.
guess that's anyway.
But big news is I just put a down payment on the expansion. So
All right.
gonna put a 60 by 40 on the front of the 30
Guys
by,
expanded in his
30 by
shed.
40.
Right. One of the sheds.
So
One of them.
gonna have the space so I could actually
Enjoy
work.
your life.
That's right.
Edelbrock, can you hire
That's
us?
Shameless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shameless.
Right. That's funny. But no, I mean that's about it. Car wise, everything's running except for I had to do some work on my diesel. That's
Well, what
about it.
about, don't you have rear end problems in your 55?
What?
You have some 4-lane
Oh
stuff?
well, yeah, no. Well, yeah, I just haven't really touched it because on the drive out there, when I was taking the car from the old house to the new house,
Yeah.
I don't know if it happened then or if I just found out about it then, but on the interstate, I had a freaking tank slapper, more or less. There was a diagonal,
Panhard
yeah,
bar.
just a hump across,
Ah.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
diagonal hump, and the car went like this, and then it just started the whole, like all the way around the car. It would just, just bounce around.
Death
the
bubble kind of
coilovers, yeah, like it, yeah, it went over a lane and a half before I managed to get it under control. So it was, from that point on, I was driving like 40 miles an hour, going, oh, something broke.
Yeah.
And so I haven't really touched it, but I got under there to look because I thought the Panhard bar had broken because I had broken it before, but it looked like the bracket is actually it's not broken completely, but it's broke. So
Oh,
it's
yeah. I'm with you.
just sitting there moving, so it's allowing that rear end to
Slop.
move back and forth. Which the rubber bushings are probably kind of crappy too back there, so that just
It's a death trap.
didn't help it any. Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
death trap.
Death
Okay.
trap.
So it hasn't moved.
So
much.
try 5 death trap.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
it. Yep. So
Fairlane.
that's got to be
Fairlane.
fixed.
Fairly good.
Yeah, Fairlane's been good, man. I mean, God, I was daily driving that sucker back and forth to Olive Branch every day, which
Not
is
in the rain though.
no, not in the rain. Because we have definitely figured out that sucker leaks like a sieve. So until I can get that fixed,
You know what I love
It
about
won't
being
do
friends
that.
with
Yeah.
car guys? You know all their dirty car secrets.
yeah. I mean, I did build a cover for the cowl that I can put on there. It's just a metal cover,
Well,
so
like
I
a
put it on there and
tampon?
like lock it down. Well, no, it's like just
like a brawl.
No, I just took just metal sheet metal.
Yeah.
and then I made like some hooks. So you go in there and put it in the cowl and turn it so it comes up, and then you just wing nut it down.
Does that
It's
stop it
totally
leaking?
jerry rigged. Yeah, because that's where it's leaking from the cowl.
They didn't seal that cowl up when they put that car together?
Yeah, I don't
Guess
know.
not.
I don't know.
All
I wasn't there. That's the problem.
Hey,
'Cause I wasn't
20,
there.
hey, new year, new you.
Yeah,
We can,
exactly.
we're going to say
color
that
swap
this
it.
year.
Hey, all I'm saying though is I am so glad when we did Route 66 that it only rained one day, because
wow.
it rained the first day on the way up there, and it didn't rain the whole 19 days there and back. And I guess I don't know if it just didn't rain hard enough, or I just never paid attention
Yeah.
to it that first day. But I mean, it wasn't at least soppy on the floorboards at the time, So it was, it made it. It was dry by the time we got done. That's for sure. So
The thing that I have to ask about your Route 66 trip, it's not why you did it and all of that other crap. It's how did you talk your wife into it? That's the ticket. Good for you, brother.
I know, right? And anybody who knows my wife, like that would be the first thing.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
for sure.
there'd be no way in hell she'd do it. But no, I mean, Jen loves to travel, and it was, timing was right because I lost my job because
Yeah.
of COVID, and when the hell else are you going to have that kind of time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you're going to start a new job, right? You're going to get like a week of
Right.
vacation or whatever. And she had a great job and had a lot of time
Gotcha.
And she was like, "Hey, if you really want to do it, this is the time to do it. Let's go for it." So
I'm unemployed. Might as well take a trip and go in debt.
Exactly.
You know, let's do that.
Let's throw all the money at it. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, she had a blast.
Good.
Which
Cool.
normally she does not do well in a car over a long period of time. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're 4 hours,
Yeah.
if she's in a car for more than 4 hours, she is stir crazy like a child.
Yeah.
And but she did really, really good. I mean, really. But every day we only did like 200 miles, maybe.
yeah.
You know, and we were stopping along the way, so there was things to entertain.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So it
That's
was a lot,
super
it was a
cool,
lot
man.
of fun. Yeah.
I would love to do that at some point.
Man, I would love to do it with like 4 or 5 other
Cars that aren't going to break down.
cars.
Got it.
Right,
Yeah, exactly. That too.
Not
yeah.
us.
See how
Yeah,
unqualified
yeah.
I am?
See what you did.
I see what you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Not
no.
us.
So
Okay.
Bonneville
No,
next
I
year.
mean,
I would like some resto mods to go with
Yeah.
me with the trailer.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Restaurants. Yeah. No. I mean, no. You know, and I stepped into that thing like, hey, something's gonna break. You
Yeah.
know, we're gonna have something, and I you know had problems with the rear end.
Yeah, but
But-
that shop was so nice to deal with.
Yeah, right. I know that guy. But it was like, you know, you go into that going, hey,
Right.
something may happen here, and what are we going to do?
Figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Well,
You know,
it's,
if we
not
gotta rent a
it's
car-
not exactly the Oregon Trail. I mean, you're
yeah, right,
like, what's the
right,
worst that
right.
could happen?
That's how I go into driving home.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Something might
right,
happen.
exactly every time, right?
I've been on trips with Mike,
No doubt.
and we're in cars, and Mike breaks down, and he doesn't have a freaking screwdriver in the car. There's
That's
not
right.
a damn thing. There's something on the side of the road. I'll
That's
just
right.
figure it out, you know?
Done it a million times.
I know.
Did it just yesterday.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
But here's where you're going wrong. It won't break down if you have shit in the car. Like if you have, that's what you have to do. You have to have a toolbox in the car. It'll never break down. If you don't have tools, it'll break down.
Yeah.
If you have a toolbox, you're fine.
Okay.
I don't even worry about it. I just go.
Yeah.
I disagree with that statement. And when it gets to me, I'm going to tell you why. I was in a rolling toolbox. In Texas.
The whole truck was a
This
toolbox.
is true.
Every tool almost that I anyway, Michael, it is your turn.
You
Go.
need to choose more wisely.
This guy,
What
the
I got-
audacity.
What I got going on car wise? We're in the process of building my 27T Roadster.
Yes.
We've been doing that at shop nights, which feels weird for me. I've done shop night style classes for 6 years now.
Yeah.
Just kind of these open house. Whoever wants to come, we'll teach you how to weld. We'll teach you how to do something with metal. Just trying to build up car culture and give back.
First and third Saturdays of every month.
Yeah, I've never, in any of these that I've been doing for 6 years, I've never worked on anything that belonged to me, ever.
Yeah.
For very specific reasons. It was intentional, because I didn't want anybody to ever be like, yeah, the only reason why he does those is to build his own. Because I heard that. Oh, what are you working on that belong? Like, I'm
not mine.
building a car for somebody else.
Also, you're
Like during
uninvited
shop
to the
night.
next one.
But I've heard that, so I was really reluctant on doing it. Thank you guys for talking me into it. Matt really pushed it. Matt wasn't going. So I appreciate it. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're building the 27T. I've recently acquired a 1956 panel truck.
Yes.
Yeah, that is cool. 5-speed, really cool. We're gonna,
GMC.
Yeah, yep.
Yep.
So we're gonna basically make
Which is not Ford.
yeah,
Which is,
yeah, that's
which is
right.
odd for you. Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
LS swap it and make it better.
That's below the belt, sir.
How dare you, sir?
But yeah, I'm carburetor for forever. But anyways, we're gonna take it and do a little spit shining on it, fix a couple of things, and basically recreate that Rotors photo. I got that with the sole intent for it to kind of be a club truck, so
So I can borrow it.
Yeah, pull a trailer. Absolutely, that's the purpose in it.
If you noticed today on the Facebook page, I posted the 3 photos. Well, actually, there's 4 photos of that Rotors truck.
Yeah,
So it's a sedan delivery. It's a little different, but it's super cool. And I also posted a picture of Marshall Rebelio's dad's truck.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and it was a panel, and it was the grocery store truck that Marshall used to steal on Saturdays to go drag racing.
That's
with.
right, and it says Rebelio's Grocery on the
Yeah,
side.
it does.
The original sponsor.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I say something? If
Yeah.
everybody will look at the cat food in the window and the mouse eating it,
There's a mouse eating it.
yeah, you see him just,
Oh, I see.
he's having a good heyday.
Look at that.
Our
Yeah.
little buddy there,
I forgot my gun.
I got my sawed off right beside that cat.
little steward over
I
there.
mean, I might have to replace the pane of glass, but it'll be
I'll take
epic
care
for
of
the podcast. Let me borrow that real quick.
He's glad the cat guy is gone.
That's funny.
But yeah, so
Ace
yeah,
isn't doing his job.
right. He's a pit bull. He can't see mice.
That's not even his job.
No, that's the cat's job. The cat quit.
Oh, you actually had one?
The mouse works here. What do you think?
Right, that's the night watchman. But yeah, other than the T that we're doing, 32 rails again, flathead powered, 5-speed in it.
Need to put quick change in.
We're putting a
God.
banjo rear end, not a quick change.
Banjo.
A banjo rear end.
He
not a
says
quick
that.
change.
That's because he's talking about flying to Trog.
I might.
Well, that's because he's got a vagina.
Whoa. We don't know that for sure.
I'm just trying to go
That
over
haircut
65.
says it all.
You've never seen it.
Oh, okay. We're not going to.
Yeah. So yeah, but our intentions
Everyone
are
just-
is,
half the viewers
is
just-
to knock these cars out and drive it to the Race of Gentlemen next year.
And Bonneville, if you could swing it.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know that we can do
know,
both
man.
in the
That's a
same
lot.
year.
That's a big
It's a
ask.
lot, and they're right there close to each
Yeah,
I
other.
plan on
Right.
going
Yeah.
the next year.
Same
I'm driving
time.
mine the next year.
Yeah. So, yeah, we want to drive hot rods across the country. Mine will be flathead powered.
I'm glad we canceled. You know, we had big plans. We were going to do Trog and Bonneville, big pound in the chest.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. And,
Both of them.
you know,
Both of them tanked.
Tanked. So
Yeah.
thank you,
Sure, yeah,
Universe,
they were
for
both,
that.
They were both flooded out.
They both got washed out.
Yeah.
And, man, what a time
Horrible.
saver and money saver for us.
I hate it. I hate it for those guys.
I do
though.
because
Yeah.
you know you guys as organizers
Damn.
appreciate the heartache that just the drama.
I cannot imagine
but
the
you know,
amount of money.
but
they
I
have
feel bad for
invested.
all the teams for Bonneville.
especially
Bonneville's
Race
by
of
and large a
Gentlemen.
way bigger, more historic event. Sorry,
Yeah.
Trog, that's just the truth.
Yeah. Right.
But we had a guy,
But you know
Poteet,
what,
that was
though?
going for 500, and he, it's just one of those. Is the timing going to ever work? And it's.
Yeah.
He was telling us on the show when we had him. If you want to go back and look that one, that run might be his last one, and then it
Yeah.
washes out, and you're like, that is heartbreaking
yeah.
to even.
Yeah, what's
know
going to
that.
happen now? Yeah.
I hope he does get a run at it.
Yeah, but I think I would bet that the people who put on Race of Gentlemen, which is what's
That's
the
the
club?
Oilers.
Oilers Club.
Yeah.
I bet they lost a lot more money than the SCTA did.
Oh, I
at
guarantee they
Bonneville.
did.
Like,
Well,
God.
I guarantee
not,
that.
not
How
just the Oilers. I mean,
Yeah.
that town, Wildwood.
Yeah.
It has become
yeah, but
such
there were a
a.
lot of people who actually still went.
Yeah, I had friends that
like
went.
because I think they canceled it kind of. There was a whole bunch of stuff on the internet about people, whining
you
about
canceled it
them
'cause the
canceling it or whatever.
High tide came in
Yeah.
and took the track away, so
Yeah,
you couldn't race.
Yeah.
Well, plus
And,
there was
you know,
that
but there was
street
still another
racer
event.
incident that happened the
Like a week or two before.
What was it?
Yeah.
The street race?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
killed
like
some people.
some imports, and the guys were driving crazy through the streets and wound up killing
In
a couple
Wildwood,
people.
New
yeah,
Jersey?
Yeah.
2 weeks before the show.
It was
That
unsanctioned.
hardly has
really?
anything to do with Trog at all. Like
Wow.
beach
Yeah.
racing,
That's
idiot
but-
imports.
well, yeah,
I mean,
but-
the
Four
culture. I
cylinders.
mean, I guess
My-
the optics of the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
racers dying in
Yeah,
Jersey. so.
my people that went said that the police were out there. I mean, just being hard on folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't drive a 2500 diesel with your friends in the back.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you that picture, Sean. You can post that.
That's a shame.
I've never felt more Mexican than all of my friends bailing out of the back of my truck.
Like
I felt like a
cockroaches.
damn. I felt like a reverse coyote. These guys were just As soon as the
You were
cop showed
sneaking
up,
white guys in.
as soon as the cop showed up, I had temporary tags. I think I just got the truck.
Memphis.
So like, I wasn't leaning on the fire department thing at all. Usually you get some professional courtesy. Not that I break the law all the time. I'm just saying, like, there's a little tip of the hat, and it's like you weren't really doing anything wrong. You were going 8 miles an hour with your friends in the back, perfectly fine in Juarez.
Right.
Not a problem in Texas.
Right.
Questionable in Memphis because of the potholes. It's a safety issue. New Jersey?
Which is probably smart.
New Jersey, you're not even allowed to swim in that water. And they're worried about the 8 miles an hour on a New Jersey
right.
beachfront? Come on.
You're freaking killing me, man.
Yeah.
They
hilarious.
He let me go. Thank you.
And then when the cops got there, I was in the front seat, and everybody bailed out of the truck and split.
I'm not
I
lying.
was in the back.
Matt's big ass just. I heard you slide down the side of the truck, and I looked.
He was
at
like a
you. You were
ninja.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
What a
there's
it's your shorts, man. Your calves. You came over the side of that thing.
And none of you guys drink, so like, why were you bailing?
Well, I don't know. I guess.
well, they told us to get out of there.
Oh, okay.
Did they?
And I got out.
I didn't hear any of that.
Then
I didn't either.
Then we're standing there for a while, and the cops are talking to him, and there's one cop that's standing over by us. They haven't told us anything, like we had to stay there.
They were telling me a lot.
So my ass just wanders off to go look at hot rods.
Yeah, Matt, Matt looked over at me and he said, they didn't tell us we had to stay. And I
Yeah.
just seen him walk off. I'm like, yeah, he's right. Okay.
I stayed though, didn't I, Javier?
You didn't have a choice. You were actually in the car. I think by the way the law works, you didn't have a choice.
I was there.
You were what they call a perpetrator.
Right, right.
You were. Is this your cohort in the front
I was
seat
nailed
here?
to it. Oh, God.
I like the New Jersey
Were you
accent
guys
with it,
smoking
too.
drugs and snorting reefers? It might be how they do it in the South, but up here we got rules and such.
He said that, didn't he?
He did say that.
That was totally. We got rules and such.
He did in such, and I was like, all right.
and such.
We got cool pictures out of it, though.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And we had a blast of a time. That
Wait
trip
till
was
this next year.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Wait till the pictures of this next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
I'm like,
next year, I'm going with the intent of getting arrested.
If you,
I want a
Isn't
mug
that
shot
your
from
intent every time you step out the
I hope for your sake the judge doesn't watch the show.
I hope
it was
he does.
premeditated.
I'm going.
I just
to
want
get
to make sure
arrested.
that our cars are legal enough that they don't get impounded.
Well, I mean, legal here and legal in Jersey, obviously,
Way
is two different things.
Way
Yeah, are you
different.
talking about
Again, I say
legal for the
I don't know
street?
how they do things down there, but up here we got rules and such.
we have headlights and taillights.
They might be piling out of here like a bunch of I can't say the word Hispanics. A bunch of Tommy, can we say Puerto Rican? I can't say that neither. These guys were racist, but not really. Anyway, so
Right.
What a great time.
It was a blast.
When it's your own race, you can say it, right?
no.
Oh, okay.
There's a thing in HR which you are not really. Did Edelbrock?
They didn't take you through
It's called third-party offense. You don't even have to be the perpetrator.
I should not be laughing at these either, right?
Like your boss, the senior VP at Edelbrock's like, is he laughing at this?
Edelbrock, we do not condone.
Christine, I need Sean Brewer to, whatever his last name is. I need him in the. Why is he from Jersey? Is your boss from Jersey?
I think he's from Canada.
Oh, what's that all about? But
We can make fun of them. It's all
yeah,
right.
he's probably. I'm sorry for raising my voice.
Canadians aren't a race. So
He's your boss, man. Shut up. You may not have taken the HR, but you took common
funny.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was good time.
Yeah. So what you got going on, Coron?
So much drama in the LBC. Let me see here. When you last left our heroes, I was working on what were
The
we?
Bonner. You're 51.
So
or
yeah.
whatever.
But
Ford.
like I was trying to get the sedan going. Man, Ace is gonna wreck some.
He
stuff.
is getting buck wild. I'm sorry.
I talked about the sedan. I bought a coupe. I think that's some things we talked about with Gene. I still have all that. Came up on another deal, I think, since we stopped recording on some rails.
Y'all always come up on deals.
It's because we're looking.
You get in the mix, you get involved, bro. But yeah, Gene and I got
will.
into another deal with some 32 rails. Went half in on another car, another builder. He's looking at building a trog car out of a Roadster that was sitting on some rails as a package deal. So I got the rails, but that's all pinned, and we're getting parts for that. The big news is the Belle made her first appearance.
That's what I was getting at.
The 51, I was really excited. I was trying not to talk about it while you guys were talking about the show, because that show was the first time she had ever been out. Now, I had Stepan was so gracious to trailer her to the show, and I wasn't as involved with the build as I normally am, because I was doing like a tech thing on how to do patina paint.
Right.
It kind of bummed me out, but I did get involved where I could, but that was fun, and it was, So I think we threw the gauntlet down on that deal. Like, I was doing that, and then one day you were like, you could probably drive that to Beale Street or the show or something, and
Oh, we forgot all about that.
I know. I was just going to say.
So,
I forget, yeah.
There's a video we can probably pin to that, or some pictures at least. We had a Hot Rods on Beale.
Yep.
Was the big thing. And,
a special one.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, yeah. So Hemmings came into town.
Hemmings was there that day. It was a big, man. Those events, like I work best under pressure, like a lot of probably people do. It probably wrecks some people. Like, I know he's the same way. Maybe a lot of us are, but unless you've got a goal and it's like impending doom. Maybe it's the ADHD. I don't.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. yeah.
But yeah, it's some kind of paralysis. They've got terms for everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, the inspiration's got to be there, and it's got to be this whole I work best under pressure. It's probably part of my job too, my normal job. Chaos I swim in. So and it's manufactured almost to the point. So back to what I was saying, on a timeline. I'd mentioned to you I wanted to go, and then you had made that happen. I got the invite. I was like, holy crap. It's like really, really, really real. Like, I'm not going to, I don't.
Gotta go.
Yeah, not saying I'm going to do something and not do it. It really hurts my soul to do that.
Yeah.
So. But no, she made it. She might have been riveted together. But
At least yours made it.
It was a very, I'm going to tell you, man,
Mine
that was emotional for me. And even down to the second that I got it there, because you guys had left before me, and it was still a question if she was going to make it. Because
Right.
I did. In fairness, I didn't. She's not roadworthy where I could drive her around town, but she does run up and down the road. I trailered her down to the other side of the Forum. On Beale, I parked, and I remember driving around by St. Michael's Church. If you're familiar with the area over there in Linden. And I was like,
Don't break down.
I sound like Nicolas Cage talking to the car. I was like, please don't embarrass me. I just need you to get down Beale Street, and we're putting down, and I heard a rub, and I was like, oh man, I hope the bumper doesn't come off. And
Oh my God!
it was bad, but it was good. It was bad. It was just one of those things. And I bumped the air ride, because this is all.
That's you're right.
I mean, I asked him how fast I installed that air ride. It wasn't like I had a week to do it. Like, the parts came in a day before.
Literally.
And it took 2 hours. I jerry-rigged some stuff up just to get it going. But anyway, because I showed up later than you guys, I wound up getting this really cool.
Yeah, you had the best spot.
Yeah.
But
best
it was
spot.
the best spot
Right there in
without
front of
being
BB
planned, like
King's.
right there in
Yeah.
front of BB King's.
Yeah.
They pulled the Ballards, and I was nervous about the car because it's weird and something new that a lot of people, and it's still in the rattiest version it's probably ever going to be. But that was special to me, and I thank you guys for all being there and like encouraging me, Mike especially, and everybody who's like,
Had to
man,
be
you can
there.
do that, you can get that. But that was emotional for me. But what she is on Beale Street is exactly what I started building her to do.
Yeah.
I was re-inspired that week with the artwork. Like, I was like, she's not pretty enough to get the pretty artwork. So I patinaed everything and made a zombie version of the Belle, and it came off like
I love the zombie
Perfect.
thing. That's cool.
And man, I aired that thing down, and the crowd just
It was a hit.
swarmed it. And I was like, this is way cool.
Took half an hour for it to go down, but it was awesome.
Once
when
it
got
was
there.
down, once it was down. I'm sitting there. Well, because I was running an 1/8-inch line that day. Like, I was like, okay. Like, I remember sitting in the car and I hit the buttons and the paddles.
Everybody's like,
and
what's
the
it
eighth-
doing?
It's like, yeah, it's telling the crowd to hush. Shut up.
Oh, is that why it was taking longer?
The eighth-inch line, and as I'm waiting there with my foot out of the door, and I'd already killed the engine, which was great because I didn't have to worry about that mechanical problem. And I'm sitting there, and it's just And I'm like, so I'm gonna have to switch lines at some point. What's up, Sean?
It was like a tire had a nail in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Slowly. That had a lot of air.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't get 3 sheets. I got a Sean B. Buzz is what I did. I was happy enough to have a few drinks, and I didn't even tell you this story. There's a really cute rockabilly chick there from Germany. She was from New York. Did you see her?
No.
She's I was just fumbly. Well, like I had a drink, and she's like, "I want to take a picture with your car," and I was like, "Yes." Am I dreaming? And then she handed me her camera, and she bumped my drink. I broke her digital camera. I paid for it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a Sean Barrington digital. It was the gentleman thing to do. It was. I looked at the brand before I committed to it.
I was like, okay, it's cheap. Here's $100.
No, I looked. No, I mean, she gave me her information, and I looked at it. I was like, that's a Sony. I could totally afford that. but it was like a couple years old, and yeah, she messaged me, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't just drinking and said some stuff. I'll pay
That's
for it.
awesome.
So I Venmo'd her some money and got her a new camera. But I mean, that's the kind of mood I was in. I was like, I'll totally pay for that. This is the best thing ever.
She gonna visit next time?
No, it's not like that at all, man. I'm just a decent human being. So her name's Helga. We get married.
She'll be coming back
She
soon.
said, she said yes.
I call her H for short because Helga, gross. She's on season 3. You'll see her. So let the relationship bloom. For everything that happened that was great, the universe balances itself out. And I know the spotlight's on me for a second, but Memphis has this thing. Shut up, Sean. This is my moment. I gave you all your time. It's okay. Coach Klein said I could. I have a great night. You guys, I'm not going to say bail because everyone had to go. I'm one of the last cars, mainly because if the bumper fell off, I didn't want a big crowd. So I crank the thing up, air the thing up. It's glugging along.
How long does it take to air up?
Not long.
Oh, okay.
The tank was holding.
Oh, it's the dump. It's the okay.
Yeah, it was the 1/8 inch line that was a problem. So it came right up, and I'm sitting there and I'm nervous. The lights weren't wired. When we got there, it was daytime, so it wasn't a big thing.
Nighttime.
Everybody's still taking pictures. There's tourists and stuff, and I'm like, please don't fall off. Like whatever you do, don't fall off. And it doesn't. And then everyone got their pictures, and I put it in neutral and let it rev a couple times, and everyone, big crowd pleaser. And then we go further past Beale, the dangerous side of Beale Street. If you ever come to Memphis, there is a dangerous side. It's when the lights stop. It's towards Danny Thomas.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where I had my truck. That's important because 2 very horrible things happened after that great evening, and the universe checks you when you're having too good of a time. At least me. Somebody broke into my truck in the toolbox and stole some stuff. Thanks, Memphis. I hope the pawn shop gave you what you needed for it. Whatever. I was still skating. And on the way home, so I loaded it by myself. And anyway, I didn't, secure a strap, maybe.
Or
the bumper
one.
I'm not confirming that. I'm just going to point at you. The bumper didn't fall off, but what did fall off was the very rare, hard to find trunk deck lid
To the 51
to the 51 Ford. That's not something you could pick up at AutoZone.
plenty of 49s, plenty of 50 model deck lids.
Yeah.
But the 51 had hidden hinges on them, and
I
it's
see.
a little bit harder to find because
see.
it was 1 year only deck lid.
It's a one off. So yeah, I did go back and find it. The next day, it was not in the same condition. I'm sorry, truck driver, whoever you are that did that.
Whoever ran over it.
Yeah.
It's I've got pictures. I don't know if I'll give Sean. That's embarrassing. But the it's
Somebody's got a photo. I'll figure it out.
I think he does.
Yeah, he showed up here the next day.
I
He was
couldn't
like,
throw it
"Here
away.
is."
I couldn't throw it away. I was
It's
like,
all
lesson learned. Lesson learned. We're going to hang that in the shop as things you don't do, not secure things. But so yeah, I bought. Couldn't find a trunk deck lid. Bought a whole car
For the deck
for
lid.
the deck lid. Now I have friends that are in the market for shoebox stuff, and it wasn't even a 51. I think it was a 50. Is
Yeah,
that
it
what's
was a
sitting back
50.
there?
Yeah, it's 50.
I do what any sane human being does. They buy a whole car for a part, and they
Yeah.
get their hot rod friends who have an addiction to jump in. So amongst
Make money
three
off
of us, no, there will be no making of money.
Well, I mean,
We parted.
recoup some money.
We went in and I drove to Lexington or somewhere, Dixon.
Kentucky.
No, it was Middle Tennessee. somewhere
Tennessee.
like that, and drove it back, and just for the deck. First thing I did when I got it here was harvest it, and I took it back. I needed something to keep the rain off of it. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Other drama, contemporary cars. I had my utility truck. You said the funny thing about when you have two
Oh
wheels.
yeah, that's right.
I had a lot of tools. I had even replaced the grinder that they stole from me.
Yeah.
And the fuel pump lost prime. I'd already replaced it one time, and it's got a leak somewhere. But that happened in Texas. Drama. Usually it takes 12 hours to get to San Antonio. It took me 24.
Yeah, but instead of like fixing it, you just like
Bought a brand new Jeep.
Hold on. It was
It had a good
used.
fuel pump though.
It was used.
It
The
was
fuel pump
used.
was intact.
on the Jeep.
I did a tactical error, and I'll tell you all bought a vehicle that was close to being out of warranty. I started doing this thing. It's only got 16,000 miles. It's supercharged by Magnuson.
Nice.
Magnuson, if you're listening, I have some bones to pick with you about your warranty not being transferable. I was lied to, misled. I'm not going to tell you what dealership I bought it from because I'm not a hater. They know what they did. But it developed a tick and then an engine light, and I thought it was a catalytic converter. You know, you always lie to yourself when these things happen.
yeah.
You're like, it's a check engine light
Yeah.
that says Cat Bank 1. Obviously, it's a bad O2 sensor. The bottom of the engine knocking has nothing to do with it.
No.
I thought it was, and, the 3.6, I don't know.
Somebody was doing burnouts with a Jeep.
I'm pretty, so
On like
they both,
48.
Yeah, I was about to say.
they're 38s, loser.
Yeah. I need a ladder to get in it.
Me
Well,
too.
if the engine hadn't gone on for Christmas, I was going to flip down steps and all that. But now, as it says, first world problems, am I right? But anyway, that thing's not in a good way. So I'm currently selling parts to fund the motor replacement. I looked at getting a Hemi. I'm not made of money. Like, I would do the work, but even every DIY kit is
There's a lot of work.
Dude.
AutoZone sells a lot of Lucas.
You told me your plan. You told me your other plan. But the
And
point,
I put it on a trailer. And trailer a block away from that Jeep place. Yeah. Then pull it.
I took it. I took it to Jeep.
Sell it.
Hold on. What? Oh,
He's
I
talking
see.
about doing the old Arkansas shuffle.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So if you're looking at any of his parts,
If you need help
might
doing
wanna-
that, I'm your guy.
Don't let anything what he said speak to his character. It's worse. No, man. I just.
car dealer.
I mean, honestly, like all kinds of things go through your head. I hadn't even made the first payment on it. I had the car it was 2 weeks.
And the motor was blown up.
And you bought it at a dealership,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "Yep, sorry, can't help you."
Well, you signed something that says it's supercharged and not under warranty because you're an idiot, and that's what happens
And
there.
you never read all the paperwork.
Well, no, I knew what it was. I signed it and I looked at it and I was like doing
I
the
didn't
math
know,
on
I
it.
didn't know it was supercharged.
I
I
had
knew that
two-
you got the Jeep. I saw it once when you came out to my house.
It had two. Yeah, it was. It's a beautiful Jeep.
Yeah.
It's two. It had 2 months left on the factory warranty. 3 year, 36,000. When you put a supercharger that's not a factory
The sucker's
car,
only got 16,000.
it has
miles on
18.4 now.
Golly.
Drove it
Man.
from San Antonio and for a couple weeks here, and then it had the knock.
Still throwing a Magnuson supercharger on it. That should not. Somebody did not tune.
Is Edelbrock owned by
correctly.
Magnuson or something?
No.
What was wrong with you?
No, I'm just saying. Edelbrock has our own superchargers, but I'm just saying.
How do they
that,
do on
you
the
know,
3.6?
like,
Can we talk to them?
I assume
I'm
pretty
willing.
good.
If you know what? If,
Yeah, but I mean,
we-
but can you blame the supercharger? I mean,
well,
is it?
I wouldn't.
That's the thing. Is like, what is?
I would blame the Jeep.
Well, the
motor.
thing is, yeah,
the owner before
Like, what is
Javier.
the
Here's
issue?
what I think.
You know.
Sean's probably more likely the story. The guy wanted more power, put that thing on it. It has a pedal commander. It was set to Sport Plus when I looked at it.
Yeah, and he went out
and,
there.
and this guy just probably torqued it, but it had good pressure. Oil looked good. Everything's good. I drove it for 2 days before I bought it.
It was slap full of Lucas.
Maybe. Oil looked good. Looked good.
That was my cousin and
when
Jackson.
when they changed the oil, Is it bad when you put a magnet up to it and the oil moves?
Yeah.
No,
shouldn't
it
do
was.
that.
I thought it was. They told me it was a
It
performance oil.
changes colors and
They
goes
won't check
metallic
that
on
when
one
you
side.
go to sell it.
It had water in it. Is that bad too? No.
I understand.
That's that. But so, spotlight again being on me. Let's talk about what you do in a situation like that. Luckily, you're gonna love this part. I bought a Mini Cooper.
Oh my god! Just buy another one. It's
No.
deeper.
If you're
All in, baby.
if you're quiet down a bit, Mr. Edelbrock, I bought the thing before I bought the Jeep.
Ah.
In anticipation for making a bad move.
He pre-bought.
You have insurance on your vehicles, right? This is better than insurance. It's another car.
Wow.
If my stuff is Arkansas, what is that?
Right?
Mexico.
I don't know.
I didn't want to say it.
Gene and I are pretty good buddies. You know, when I took the work truck, to Texas, he was eating a sandwich or drinking something, and he almost spit his food out when I told him I was taking the truck. He said, "It's like you're asking for trouble." And I said, "I think trouble heard me."
Oh, you mean much like when he took the trailer to pick up the Impala down in Mississippi or whatever?
Did the trailer make it back
No.
the second time?
He rebuilt it.
Yeah, right.
In a parking lot.
Yeah, in the parking lot.
tell you
It was
something.
a good truck stop at 2 a.m.
Remember that thing we talked about where I work good under pressure?
That's it.
Do you know how fast I got a clutch in a Mini Cooper that was disabled when I bought it? Real fast when it's your only means of conveyance. So
See, that's it. So we just need to just mess with all of his cars so he'll work on them.
Right.
That's it.
He's got great stories, man.
right.
I hope nothing ever
right.
changes.
I know.
it's not going to. My mistakes are repeatable.
Yeah. But
Anyway, I feel like I've had the
yeah.
mic too long. So
Well, yeah. Well, no. So it kind of. No, I didn't mean it that way. No.
yeah, you did.
No, I'm just ADD enough that I was like, okay, yeah, that reminds me. Hemmings came in town, so yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, but no, Hemmings came in town to do some stuff at Edelbrock, and they wanted to come during Hot Rods on Beale and all that. So they came over here to Steel Rose and did some stuff over here, and then we all cruised down together. Down to Beale Street together. So that was
Epic.
really cool.
That was a cool day.
That was freaking awesome. Dan, I can't remember Dan's
Dan
last
Stoner.
name. Stoner, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
And Dan came,
Probably
really
a fake
cool
name.
dude. I don't know.
Is it a fake name?
It's probably a fake
Fits.
name.
Like, yeah, no, but it's not out yet. The episode. So, but hopefully that will be.
That was just a cool
That'd be
day.
soon. But that was
That's one of my best
that was
days,
awesome.
honestly. When in your life, when you look back, and if they say your life flashes before your eyes, I hope that day is one of the slides. that
We
pops
have
in
a
there.
lot of those days.
I know, but I'm saying like just
I don't think they're going to be able to
specifically
use any footage from us, though.
that. Why not?
He at one point said, "We are filming." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Are you talking about when
Oh, sure.
are you talking about over here
shucks,
when I was
guys.
throwing shit around on my car trying to get it ready?
He's like, I am mic'd up. I'm like,
That was funny. Yeah.
You just,
Well,
you
but
just hear,
Memphis-
you
he was
just
a
hear me
cool
hitting
guy,
something.
Yeah.
Anytime now, fellas. Clean, clean.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yeah.
I was surprised with him.
Yeah, the series I think is called One Fine Day, One Perfect Day.
One perfect
One
day.
perfect day
It was
is,
one.
is
It was
yeah.
perfect.
It was a great.
He's got
day.
some cool videos on there.
Yeah.
So he's
Oh, yeah.
a motor trend.
No.
What is
No,
he doing?
Hemmings Motor News.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't.
Yeah.
I should have paid more
That's right.
attention.
Yeah.
I was a little distracted.
Hemmings Motor News. And then he has a series actually on his T. It's a T, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tall T.
Yeah,
just-
tall T
super
that he
cool
did.
car.
That man,
Yeah,
the whole
epic.
story behind the engine that he has in it, and
Wow.
and
Like it's
oh,
a famous.
it's cool.
a famous engine out
Yeah,
of
that was
some dragster.
Goshen.
I can't
it's,
remember
It's
right
a
off the-
California.
He's been building the car
California
for
place.
20
Yeah,
years.
20
Oh my
years.
God.
Yeah,
Sounds like something I would do.
Yeah,
Me
but
too.
they're all like
He's got
period
some cool
correct,
parts, though.
whatever. And
Yeah.
the engine that he has was out of a not top fuel, but nitro.
Yeah, it's a
Methane-
nitro.
nitro
Yeah.
It's a
methane
392
drag.
Hemi.
Yeah,
But it's
Hemi.
concreted block, so
Yeah.
it has no water jackets.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he will be able to crank it up, take it down the like a mile or two
Block.
down the road
They shut it off.
and shut it back down.
And let it cool
Like,
off
it's
for
not-
8 hours.
It's
not
not,
my thing.
made for
No.
anything
It's
else.
one pass.
I like
car.
driving.
Yeah, if I can't break down on the interstate in it, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Right in front of you.
At least we'll have company.
You know you're Javier's friend if he calls you when he breaks down. You know, he's done it
I
once
don't
or
just
twice.
call anybody.
He don't call very often.
I
He
know.
called me at 2 in the morning.
I really no. I was calling you for support.
Oh, because
To
you're,
talk.
you're
I was
getting tired.
No,
Yeah.
I was getting tired.
Yeah, you're getting
and,
tired.
The storm was happening.
Yep.
There was green. It was
Green lightning?
It was green lightning.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
And you had told me you were going to be up. I was like, this fool's up. I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
This was with the Impala.
Yeah.
It broke down while
While I was on the
it's
phone.
you.
Yes, me. Yeah. You didn't break down on the way back from truck though, or there, so we're good.
Yeah, that's true. But you guys did sleep in the bed of the truck.
No,
cuddling.
Matt and I did. Matt and I did.
Yeah, we definitely tried.
Yeah, it was so cold.
I had to put pants on that day.
Yeah. Stop,
That's
Matt.
a rare day.
You know,
Stop.
I was never
It was
going to bring
cold.
this
We're making
up.
this-
I actually stopped Sean from talking about it on the Nolan episode out of respect for what was going on.
What?
Sean has the wettest, stinkiest feet.
Sean Young. Sean Young.
I think now's the perfect time to talk about it.
Bring it,
Absolutely,
bitches.
to the
Bring
camera.
it.
I'm
is.
driving. Coffee has nothing on what his feet can do. No. I was falling asleep. What it was raining at some truck stop in like
And
Virginia.
he was in the back seat.
Well, you know, it was a very poignant moment because he was asking me after we just got back in the truck and we had to run through that little swamp of water at that truck stop and Sean doesn't wear socks, I don't think. He was
Not
wearing
most of the
he was
time,
wearing
no.
like his what are the Converse
I was wearing some
checkers,
Vans.
the Vans or something.
Oh.
Yeah, every skateboarder's fungus toe that ever existed was in that van. But anyway, so he's like asking me, he's like, "Hey man, what was that thing you said?" And you posted it. Mm-hmm. That's about how we were born in the in the right era. and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
It was a very poignant moment. At the same time, this son of a bitch is typing this. He kicks off his wet, mildewy shoes, and we both look at each other. I'm sitting there driving. And I'm like, ooh. I looked over at him, not because we were thinking the same thing. I looked over him to check his feet. 'Cause I was like, that is really close. It's not. And then I look back at the glow of the computer's lighting his face up, and he's.
And he's like, "Can I just hang him out the window?"
No,
put him on.
I'm trying to be real PC because I know it's not his feet. I was like, I don't care whose feet they are, but they need to be covered up. Or I'm going to throw up on everybody in here.
That's the roughest I've
So
seen.
meanwhile, you guys are in that vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm in a vehicle with Philip, Greg Bourne, my wife, and me in the back seat. Greg Bourne is about his second fifth in.
Oh
Nice.
My God.
It is hammered.
He's hammered, and he's giving Phil hell. Phil's driving. He's like slapping the bill of Phil's hat.
Oh.
We should be driving hot rods, Phil. Slapping his hat. Look, my wife is sleeping, and they're raising hell, and Philip's looking at Greg like, if you
Don't
hit
touch
me
me.
one more time, we're going to fist fight while I'm driving this truck. And my wife wakes up, answers a business phone call, climbs out the back window of the truck, and is in the back of the truck smoking a cigarette. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. We wound up having to carry Greg to the hotel room because you guys opted to sleep at a truck stop.
Yeah.
Javi had
We pushed
a
through.
new truck that time. He didn't
He
didn't let us drive at all the whole
know.
way.
It had drive-out tags
It
on
was still really new.
legal drive-out tags, not the Memphis kind.
Look,
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me drive the truck either, only Philip and
Yeah.
Greg. I don't know why they wouldn't let me drive it. I know at one point it was a monsoon, and
Yeah, we
Greg
know.
was
Yeah.
driving, and he was doing like 137
Oh, my God.
through mountain roads with a trailer with
a
a
hot rod.
roadster on it.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. With the roadster on the aluminum trailer. Yeah. You'd think he was hauling moonshine through the hills of damn smoke.
Oh, he was hauling ass. Philip was like, Greg, you need to slow the hell down. And Greg's just like wide-eyed.
It's the fastest that roadster's ever been.
Epic. Good trip.
That was a good trip.
Good trip.
Everything about that was cool.
Nice.
But
What was your experience on the trip, Sean?
yeah, what'd you
Why,
do?
why did you end up going to that? You had something going on.
I think Sandy
I went to
Vagina.
Bonneville, didn't I?
No.
Could have
Yeah,
had
you
that.
went to
He could have had
Bonneville
that where we were at.
Yeah, I was at Bonneville.
Yeah.
Well, that was before. Bonneville was before.
Yeah, Bonneville was.
Yeah,
before.
but I mean, it was just
Yeah,
before
yeah,
it.
just
Like, I
before,
I
yeah.
couldn't
but
swing
you-
both of them.
You flew to Bonneville. You could have drove with us.
Yeah,
Or met us.
but I couldn't do both. I couldn't have
No,
done
yeah, you'd
both.
already
I mean-
committed to do something with the team or something in Bonneville. You're like, no, I'm gonna go with these guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, because
Had been invited by a group.
Zach was running the Jezel truck, so
Yeah.
he was going to be able to run the truck. So, I mean, he's good buddy of mine who helps me out on Auto Enthusiast Network on the Facebook page and everything. So, for him to be able to see him run the
Yeah, he's
truck
a better
and
friend
stuff,
to you.
so,
I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see what's going
listen
on.
to you.
So are you going to Frog next
He
year?
helps me for free. Like, yeah,
I want to meet that guy.
maybe Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Zach's
he's
freaking
an
awesome dude.
interesting dude, man. I follow him on Facebook.
I know, right?
And a super interesting guy. I really would like to sit down and chat with him at some point.
Yeah, and you have the adoption thing in common as
Oh,
well,
I didn't
right?
know that.
Oh, his story is amazing.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know if you saw the whole Jenny the Camaro. right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So Jenny the Camaro was his maternal grandmother's car.
Yes.
Okay,
I did
so
know that.
he found that car when they were searching for his parents,
His biological
and
fa-
yeah,
yeah.
he was searching for his family, and his wife was really good at genealogy stuff, and she found a lot of his family. So ends up that he's got a lot of siblings.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
a lot. And so she found his mother, and his mother was living. Actually, I think she found his brother, and he called out of the blue. Said, "Hey, I think I might be related to you. Whatever." And my mother's name is so and so. Whatever. Do you think that we're related, or something? Whatever. And he goes, "Well, let me ask Mom. Hang on." And he was like, "Whoa." So, it was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it was just a whole. I mean, to hear the story is amazing. But anyway, they're living in Kingman, Arizona. He goes to meet his mother and his brother.
Yeah.
And this car is in the backyard.
Wow.
He talks to him, hears the story, ends up, wanting to get the car, and I think the brother maybe was like, I'm gonna restore it someday, something, whatever. But ends up finally talking about it, and the car did a whole barn find for like 3 years. It did a whole barn find tour. It
Yeah.
did. It like went to every indoor show. It was in museums and all that stuff because it was like dust all over it.
Yeah.
Kingman, Arizona, like great car and everything. So it did all that, and then he decided, I'm going to restore this car. And so we talked about modifying it or restoring it. And to me, I was like, modify the hell out of it.
Right,
Whatever.
right.
Like, let's do stuff. We can do parts and we can do all sorts of articles and whatever else. And and he was like, man, it's too.
It's a family heirloom, man.
Yeah, and he was like, it's too original. I can't. So so he restored this thing. Now he's restored 2 cars for George Poteet, and so he is meticulous.
Yeah.
And he restored this car, and it was unveiled at McCacken in November, which is muscle cars and Corvette Nationals up in Chicago. He unveiled it there. The car won like one of the top awards that it can win.
Wow.
Over the moon. And they did the unveiling. I don't know if you guys have seen the unveiling of it. If you haven't, go back and look at it. You will cry. So Kevin Ostie was the MC, and he's, interviewing and talking about the car and all that kind of stuff or whatever. And they're showing, they're both pointing forward toward the camera, right? Well, there's somebody walking up behind Zach, and Kevin ends up introducing that this is his sister. And I don't think he had met the sister yet
Wow.
or whatever. Yeah. So his sister was there for the unveiling and whatever. And so it was just a big, cry fest and stuff. Yeah. But he's found I think he has I don't know, 7 or 8 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
Yeah. So and they're all,
Big family.
all over the place, and here he is. He was an adopted only child.
Yeah.
So for him, it's just been an amazing story through the whole thing. So, just just one of the greatest individuals that you
Yeah.
ever want to meet. Just super, super sweet guy. Very, very religious.
Can't cuss around him.
Yeah.
Yes.
right,
So if you ever
yeah,
meet him-
yeah. So try not. Yeah.
Don't be me.
Yeah.
Don't
You know,
be-
I
or
guess,
don't be me. Yeah.
You know what? Now since you
Yeah.
put it that way,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I would have stood my friends up too today.
But
It seems like a jump.
Biggest news of right now, I think, something we got to say a little something about is Ken Block, the loss of Ken Block yesterday, day before, in a snowmobiling accident. That's something that anybody who follows anything in the automotive aftermarket and rally racing, Ken Block was a big loss for well, hell, I mean, just
all of
He was an
yeah,
advocate for
car culture,
yeah, for all of it.
videos, like everything. I mean, I did see somebody say something about, we haven't had this kind of loss since Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't a Paul Walker fan, so I didn't really get that. But that is true. I mean, it's kind of like Jessie Combs.
Yeah.
She was a big name. I think it's-
Icons.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they push the sport,
Yeah.
they push the culture. I mean, I
Absolutely.
see that. I
Yeah.
mean, Paul Walker was that. I know he wasn't really that for you.
Yeah.
A lot of his
Right.
stuff wasn't really known till after his death, which is the
Yeah.
the reverse of what
Yeah.
when Jesse passed.
Yeah, and I mean, I do get that Paul Walker means a lot to a lot of younger people who, I mean, that was their introduction to cars. So I mean, like, I do respect Paul Walker. Don't get me wrong, but to me it was just like, whatever. He's
right.
It
a
was-
movie guy versus
yeah. Whereas to me, Jessie Combs, she was
Legend.
she was
Yeah.
fabricator. She was she was doing it right. I mean, like, hell, she died
Doing what she loved.
going 500 miles an hour.
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
I know we're trying to get out of here, but let me just ask. If Paul Walker was your introduction to cars, who was the introduction to cars for you guys?
Oh man.
And if I had to pick a person like that, for me, it's probably Harrison Ford.
really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
American
Where
Graffiti.
Mad Max? Oh, I thought you were going
Yes.
to say Mad Max. Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
And Solo.
Tough.
yeah,
That's
Harrison
tough,
Ford.
man.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know that I had one. My start was motorcycles.
You know,
Knievel.
I mean, for me, my
Yeah.
I was gonna say, for me, my dad was always not he wasn't my influence or whatever, but like I was so immersed in cars because of my dad. Like
Right.
NASCAR, just NASCAR, Richard Petty, Bobby Allison, those guys back in that day. I mean,
Yeah.
those were probably the things that drove me to be a car guy. I mean, I probably would have been a car guy anyway, but I remember watching those races with my dad and stuff, and those were, those guys were
Yeah.
amazing. So that was always the stuff. But it was also NHRA guys too. I mean,
you got me all up in my feels, man. I'm like really trying to pin down
Yeah.
a specific person.
Yours probably was a lot like mine.
I'm gonna tell you what it was. It
we
wasn't.
were
didn't involve your dad.
It didn't involve our dads. It's okay.
It was the neighbor.
That's why we're on this side of the table. He can't go on. He can't go on. You've heard him. But,
Anyway,
but
no,
it was
no, no, but
Probably a lot like mine.
And
We grew up poor.
let me jump in because we did, and it wasn't a particular person. It was a time period where sad Javier time, and probably we drove 3 hours with my uncles to Midland, Odessa from Alpine. It was like 3 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 back then because the highways weren't built up, and it was the monster truck rally.
Nah.
And that was the first time I felt an engine rumble in my chest in a
Yeah.
closed space. And I thought to myself, God, that's power. It was the first time I ever saw Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And around the same era, a little bit after that, I see Smokey and the Bandit. I see Bullet. This is all in the same probably
Yeah.
2 years. And then when I start getting to a point, and it was never like, I'm going to be driving one day. It was just enamored and engrossed in cars. But I think I remember cars. I don't remember people. And of course, you have Smokey
Right,
and the Bandit. But,
right.
there's so much hate for this car now, and it's the damn Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh,
That
yeah.
car, but I mean, it was the comedy with it too. Because
Right.
I'm a little bit of
Well,
a
it was-
goofball,
it
but it
was
was
a
just
good
it was all
It
of
really
it and
was.
stuff you can't. But like, it was wholesome, even
Right.
though they've painted it. Contemporary times have
Right.
painted it to be something it never was.
Right.
Right.
My opinion. If you don't like that, that's my opinion. So, and that wasn't ever how I was raised anyway. But
Right.
I just love when they'd pause. Like half the comedic timing that I learned at that time, besides just goofing off with my family, was when they would pause and the narrator would say, "Now the boys have found themselves in quite a pickle."
right.
Old Boss Hoss. You know, you're just like, and I would remember sitting there thinking, like, how are they going to get out of this one? He's going to mess that car up. And they're going to, next week, it's going to be fine. But, you know,
hilarious.
I don't remember people. Now, Paul Walker, when I was in high school, the Fast and the Furious, I guess. I mean, that was a movement, and I was import back then, too.
Yeah. See, I was
So-
I was way before that time.
If I had to give credit, I would have to give credit to before I was so young, but my uncle lived across the street, and
Yeah.
he was a lowrider guy.
Oh, wow.
64 Impala on Dayton's. I mean, he was a straight up vato. My uncle David Carrillo. So he would drag me across the street, and he
this
would
would
take
be in
me.
what
This was in Kansas.
Kansas?
Yeah, this was before I got brought back to Memphis. But he would pay me in ice cream to polish his wheels. And
I got
and
the
he
same
would,
payment.
Yeah.
It was candy, but
Yeah, and then he would take me in his Impala and hit switches. And, I was standing up in the seat like,
yeah. When you start doing the coming of age thing,
Yeah.
middle school, well, it's so like my cousin Chewy Jesus, we built. It was lowrider culture.
right.
Building a Schwinn, like a lowrider. You ever seen a lowrider bike?
Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous thing. Like, but I'm going to tell you, like,
I
when you
had
can't, it was a progression. It was model cars. Like, you'd go to the store, like True Value is what we had, and we'd buy a model car and we'd trick it out lowrider style, and then we'd get a bike, and somebody had an uncle or somebody that could do bondo and welding. They would bondo and weld the gas tank. They would make a gas tank, airbrush it, candy.
Nice.
And then when you got older, my cousin got a 64. And that was like, I'm getting one.
I gotta have one of those.
He actually got a 63.
Now
I
you
got
got
the
me
64.
wanting to buy a Stingray.
Yes.
Lowrider
I had
Stingray?
one as a kid as a lowrider Stingray.
Oh, I thought you meant a Corvette.
No,
I was like, man, you got to do a lot of trading.
Yeah, that's a parts car.
We had a Corvette we
sports
would
car.
have given to you if you would have come and picked
Yes,
it up.
I could have made you a vet owner.
Anyway,
Not that
that's
Stingray.
it's just
What about you, Sean? Sean, seeing you asked the question, what about you?
Oh, it was Harrison Ford.
Oh, that's right. You already
Yeah,
said it. Yeah.
Matt,
the bad
Matt.
guy. The bad guy.
Yeah.
I normally
The-
root for the good guy.
Let
I
me tell you
root for
what,
the bad guy.
Han Solo's never the bad guy. He was the antagonist, okay?
Okay, that's fair enough.
How
Fair
about
enough.
you, Matt? Your dad?
yeah, it had to be my dad. I
Yeah.
grew up around drag racing, big block Mopars. Dad had a '66 Dodge Charger with big block Mopar.
Yeah.
Brother's got a Road Runner. Yeah, so it's just the whole family's got.
Man,
All
I do.
right.
I do have to say, I gotta give a shout out to one of my first like local heroes. Though was it was passed on as Jimmy Champagne. My dad used to take me up to Oswego Speedway to watch the super modifieds run up there, and like it was an hour away or whatever. It felt like an eternity to get there, right? But we used to go up and watch the super modifieds run, and Jimmy Champagne was like
The man.
the guy. He had an
Yeah.
eight ball was like the 8 ball was like his number. He was number
Yeah.
8 and whatever. It looked like 8 ball. And I just remember like he had some of the coolest cars that they were just. The super modifieds look like nothing else. The
Yeah.
engine is offset and everything is all jacked out to the right side. It's all made to go left. And they're fast as hell on concrete. And it was just that guy. He was the guy. He'd always win, and it was that guy. So
That's cool, man.
yeah. So it was really really cool. I met Ray Evernham one time, and Ray Evernham told me that he has the car that Jimmy Champagne died in.
Ooh,
Yeah, which is cool. He's like, man, you gotta come sometime, see it, whatever. I'm like, yeah,
I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to. Yeah.
I know,
That's gruesome.
I know, but it's like,
Where does he keep that
yeah.
thing? You just
Man,
have that just lying around?
Ray Evernham has a huge collection of old race cars.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's kind of like the whole adage of you don't buy a dead guy's bike.
yeah.
Or any car. Like,
I
I would feel
wouldn't
weird
say
about
he
owning something like that.
advertises that he's got
Right,
it,
right.
whatever.
I wouldn't
but he
want to
was
own
like,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Well,
Knowingly own it.
most of my cars are close to 100 years old, so they were
Somebody
originally
was-
owned by
some-
a guy that is
Somebody died.
Everybody
Right?
did.
Somebody might have been conceived and born.
That's right. That's right.
I
Conceived,
picture the
born,
whole.
and
I don't want to
died.
reference
Yeah.
it again, but the whole Titanic thing.
Right.
Rose had some fun in the back of a T.
Right, right.
So my
Jack was there.
My Mercury has a bullet hole in the original dash. You never know.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
Gotta leave it there. That's.
Well, I mean, it's
Well,
not,
it
I
doesn't
took
have the original
dash.
Oh, you
out.
took the original dash out.
I still have it though.
There you go.
So yeah.
As long as it hangs on the wall, you gotta.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got something to say about it. Yeah.
Well, let's wrap it up, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was one other thing we were going to talk about.
Yes.
I think Sean's got it.
Absolutely, I'm on top of it. So, got some bad news. So, if you guys have been watching episode 11, we had our good friend Hollywood, and Hollywood's a fixture here in Memphis in the car community. Everybody knows him, and we just want to send our prayers and our thoughts to his family. Over the passing of his daughter, maybe a day or so ago. Just saw the news on Facebook, and Hollywood, if you're watching, man, we're crying for you, brother.
For
we,
sure.
we hope all the best.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, we
As it-
talk a little bit about possibly tease. Who's coming?
Tease, and
Who got lined up for next show?
What in the hell are you talking about?
He's talking
Oh.
about teeing up for
teasing.
a show.
Like teasing
tease.
who's
Okay.
coming.
Oh, that,
I'm gonna spell it out for you. There's a guest that comes after this show.
yes.
We usually talk about that guy in a short excerpt where everyone gets titillated.
well, do we have somebody? Who we got lined up, Abbott?
We got Mike Cooper from Spanky Hot.
Mike
Nice.
Cooper, Spanky Hot Rod.
Mike's a good
Spanky's
dude,
Hot
man.
Rods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mikey will be
He's a good
the
dude.
next episode.
2 weeks. Yeah. By the way, we've gone to every 2 weeks now instead of every week.
I don't think anyone's going to be mad about that.
No,
I know
but
we aren't.
Just to let people know, in case they were looking for something every week, we're gonna go to every 2 weeks.
Well, we should probably do some filler content too. I mean, we've all
will.
got access to the page, so
Yeah.
you might see me throwing a wrench at a vehicle that I own that doesn't work.
Oh well,
Yes.
something like
that will be daily
Yes.
from Hobby.
That's weird. Season 2, Sean throwing out zingers. Don't worry. He's buzzing, ladies and germs. That's not his normal MO.
All right, guys. Let's get out of here, man.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Hobby, you want to
hold
take
on.
it away, brother?
Yep.
Are we doing
You
this?
yeah, you
Take us
still
out.
got to take it away.
This has been Hot Rod Blues Season 2, Episode 1. Tune in next week when we have, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Rewind the tape. Clap back. We're take 2. Mike Cooper of Spanky Hot Rods will be here. You guys are going to love to meet him. We'll see you next episode.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
We clap in, you go, and that's pretty much him in a nutshell. And then he'll stitch it in wherever it's appropriate.
I'll make it happen.
Of course, you're going to be like, and that's pretty much him in a nutshell.
What?
When he edits it, you're going to be like, and that's pretty much him in a nutshell. Fucking look like The Ring. It's going to come out of the movie.